So in this chapter, we're going to look at what happens when your brain connects with other brains during the holiday season. Because it turns out your brain treats social connection as seriously as it treats food and shelter. So again, if you're a regular on our webinars, you'll have heard me speak many occasions about our reward system. And for anyone who's not familiar with the reward system, your brain has a reward system. Think of it as your internal celebration center. And this system releases a cocktail of feel-good chemicals, including oxytocin, which is referred to as the bonding hormone, or some people call it the love hormone, and dopamine, your reward chemical. Now, when you have a meaningful connection with another person, this reward system lights up in exactly the same way as when you receive something that your body needs physically. So, like food when you're hungry or water when you're thirsty. And your brain literally processes social connection as something that is essential for survival. Now, this isn't just a nice metaphor that we can see this happening in the brain with brain scans. When someone feels genuinely seen, heard, or valued by another person, the same neural networks activate as when they receive a physical reward. It's like your brain saying, yes, this is what I need to thrive. And here's what's really brilliant about it. It works both ways. When you make someone else feel connected and valued, your brain gets a reward too. It's like nature's designed us to feel good when we help others to feel good. The holidays at the best are essentially a season of activating each other's reward systems through connection, generosity, and shared experiences. But here's where it gets really interesting. Not all social interactions are created equally. You've probably experienced this yourself, where you've been in a room full of people and yet you still feel quite lonely. But on the other hand, there's been times when you've perhaps had a short 5-10 minute conversation with just one person and you feel completely energized by that conversation. Now, research shows that it's the quality of the connection that matters, not just being around people. Your brain is constantly scanning social interactions for signals that you matter, that you're valued, that you belong there. And when somebody really listens to you, when they remember something important to you, when they show genuine interest in your thoughts, that's when your reward system really activates. Think about the difference between small talk, how's the weather, and meaningful conversation. What's been the highlight of your year this year? And somebody actually being curious enough and interested enough to listen. They want to know. And your brain responds completely differently to these interactions. Small talk might feel pleasant, but meaningful conversations actually changes your brain chemistry. This is why during the holidays, when you're often rushing from event to event, trying to see everybody, fit everybody in, perhaps you've got a huge family that all come round and gather round on Christmas Day, and you're trying to find time not only to do all the things you've got to do, but also to get to talk to everybody. And we can just end up feeling just totally exhausted rather than feeling energized. We're prioritizing quantity over quality. And our brains aren't getting those deep connections that it's craving. It's like eating a lot of snacks when what you really need is a nourishing meal. So let me explain what's going on in the brain during a really good conversation. When someone shares something personal with you, or when you feel truly understood, several things happen simultaneously. First of all, your brain releases oxytocin, which creates that warm, bonded feeling. Second, it activates your brain reward systems, giving you a natural high, a dopamine fix. And thirdly, it actually reduces the activity in your threat detention center within the brain. So you feel safer and more relaxed. But here's the really fascinating bit. Meaningful conversations also activate what neuroscientists call neural coupling. This means when your brain waves actually start to synchronize with other people's brain waves, you're literally getting on the same wavelength. And I'm sure, again, you've had this experience where after a really great conversation, you feel like you and that person just clicked. And the reason you felt like that is because neurologically you did. This is also why meaningful conversations are so memorable. When your reward system is activated and your threat system is nice and calm, your brain is in the optimal state for forming positive memories. Think about those holiday conversations that you can remember years later. And the reason behind that is because at the time they created strong neural pathways because your brain was in this perfect state for connection and memory formation.